Hello, guys and gals, and welcome. So today I'm super excited because I get to show you how to install Diablo II Resurrected on your Steam Deck. I know I'm 11 months late, but you know what? I'm going to make this video anyway. Maybe I will help some of you guys install Diablo II Resurrected on your Steam Decks when you finally get them too, just like I finally got mine. So Diablo II Resurrected is obviously a launcher-based game, and to install Diablo II Resurrected, you have to install the launcher. Steam Deck has a desktop mode which can allow you to download files and install them, and that's what we're going to do. So the first thing that we have to do is change the Steam Deck from the Steam, like sort of big picture mode, to the desktop mode. And to do that, all you have to do is hold down the power button on the Steam Deck for about 3 seconds. And as soon as you do that, you will get a menu pop up that says switch to desktop. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to switch to desktop first, and we have to get to the desktop before we can do all this. There's no reason for me to be up on the screen for this, so I'm going to take myself off so you guys can get a good look at everything. I don't want to cover anything up. Plus, Steam Deck seems to, for some reason, really love to put things like in every single corner of the screen. So I'm always in the way. Cry, cry. All right, so once you're on your Steam Deck, what you're going to do in the desktop mode is open up your Firefox browser. So you want to go ahead and go to the Battle.net launcher website, essentially, right? So how do you do that? Well, a keyboard doesn't pop up on the screen. This is something I had to go through myself, and what you want to do is you want to hold down the Steam plus the X button, and when you do this, a keyboard will pop up on the screen, an on-screen keyboard. The on-screen keyboard is a little jankety. I've had a little bit of trouble with it, but it's usually okay. And once you get that, you can obviously type it in that way. I have a keyboard actually hooked up to mine, so I don't have to go through this particular route. I just hooked it up with a USB cable through a dock. So you're going to type in battle.net launcher download. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the download link. You're going to download the Battle.net launcher right here. See Battle.net, the desktop application, Windows, and you're going to download it for Windows. And I've actually already downloaded it, but doesn't really matter one way or the other. You're going to have to download the file. Once you've downloaded the file, that's it on Firefox. So go ahead and close out Firefox. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open Steam. Once we're inside of Steam, we're going to have to add the Battle.net setup file to the Steam launcher so that the Steam launcher can run it. This is part of the process that we're going to have to do to get these files installed. Now, another thing that we have to do before we actually run a lot of these files is we need to grab them, essentially, grab the tools essentially from the store or the shop or whatever you want to call it. There's a couple different little options down here in the bottom left hand corner. We've got like the kind of like the start menu, and then there's like a system settings, and then the one that we're looking for is I believe it's the Discover Software Center. I'm not 100% sure. Everything is still popping up over on the other screen for me, so I gotta drag it over. I wonder if there's a way I can disable. Yeah, let's try disabling the other screen. Maybe that will. Okay. All right. So now the other screen is disabled, so everything should be popping up over here. Now, what we're looking for is a specific program. It's an application that allows you to play games that basically might not otherwise be allowed. So you're going to click on this little question mark icon down here, which is the Discover. And in the box here, same thing as before, you're going to use either the on-screen keyboard, Steam plus button plus X, or you can type it in if you have a keyboard hooked up. Type in ProtonUp, and you're going to want to install the ProtonUp-Qt program right here. And once you have the ProtonUp-Qt program installed, you're going to go ahead and you're going to launch it. And when you launch it, it's going to bring up this little window right here. This window is basically where you're going to add versions of the Proton program, which allow you to essentially have compatibility tools for programs that might not otherwise be able to run on your version of the Steam Deck. And you're going to go to Add Version. and then you're going to add basically the newer versions of the Proton pack. Obviously, 720 is one of the ones that was used before, but now we have 21, 22, 23, and 24, and you can, of course, add all of these. Some might work better than others for certain programs. I went ahead and added the 20, 23, and 24 to my list, and then once they're added to my list, I just go ahead and close this. This once it is finished, you've got those compatibility options and you don't have to worry about it. You may want to revisit that program occasionally to make sure that you have the most up-to-date compatibility Proton, because if you're having issues with a particular game, then obviously you want to work on that. Once you have the Proton packs installed, what you're going to do is you're going to click Add Game down here in the bottom left-hand corner, and then we are going to add specifically a game, the setup file that we put on the computer, right? So we downloaded it. So we need to click Add Game, and for some reason it's not working for me. See if I could use the mouse on the little device. Sometimes it works differently. Why is it not working? All right, well, for some reason or another, I couldn't get it to work from the button down here, the Add Game button, despite the fact that that button's supposed to work. Instead, I went up here to Games, Add on Steam Game to my library. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually find the file that we downloaded. So we're going to want to go to User, Local, I think it's Share, or hold on a second. It's a little confusing with this particular folder structure. Like it's not something that that straight up like is intuitive for someone who may not have used Linux-based systems. So right here we have home/deck, right? Home/deck. And then down here, we're looking for downloads. There's our downloads right there. We open up the downloads. Now we need to change this file type to all files, and then we will see our BattleNet setup.exe. And once we have that file, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to open it, and that's going to add it to our list of games. This is the reason why we're doing this is because it allows us to install the game. So what you want to do is you want to find the BattleNet setup.exe, go ahead and click on it, and then you're going to go to the options here, and we're going to go to properties. We're going to go to compatibility, and then we're going to choose that Proton layer, the GE Proton 20, or we could choose the 24, which is the newer one. And then you're going to want to close this. So once you have the use of compatibility on, and then you've chosen the newest Proton tool, you're going to go ahead and close this, and then you're going to go ahead and open the BattleNet launcher. And it's going to work very much the way it does on a Windows PC. So you're going to see the BattleNet launcher open up. The BattleNet launcher is going to say, hey, do you want to install this game? Where do you want to install it? So forth and so on. And this part is fairly straightforward. You don't really have to worry about this part too much. Obviously, you're going to have to log into your account here. And once you log into your account, it's going to pull up your BattleNet launcher. As you can see, I have the BattleNet launcher pulled up now. But this is only because the setup program recognized that I already had it installed. Okay, so for you, you're going to see a little bit of a different situation. It's going to obviously take you through the installation steps. Then what we've got to do after that is we have to actually find the BattleNet launcher, and let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So this part is a little more difficult, and it is one that took me a little while to actually get working, and I'd like to show you the directory first so that you guys will know where you're going to look. So it is home deck / dot local share Steam apps comp data. And then once you're in comp data, there's a bunch of numbered folders. Your numbered folder may be different than my numbered folder, so don't go specifically by my number. And then you're looking for PFX, and then Drive C, and then program files, x86, and then BattleNet, and then BattleNet launcher.exe. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to find this real quick. Good Lord, I feel like I need to write it down, even though I've already found it like 2 or 3 times. We're also obviously going to have to put the compatibility layer on this one as well, but you have to do that after you find it. Okay, so we're going to again go to add non-Steam game to library. we're going to go to Browse, and then we're going to look for this folder. So we're in the home deck, and then we're looking at .local. Then we go to Share, and then we are going down to, see, I can't even remember now. Steam, all right, and then we're looking for Steam apps. Then we're going to comp data, all right, and now we're looking for the folder that contains the Battle.net launcher. So we can go through a couple of these. Let's check the 2789, I think that was it, 2789. PFX, then drive C, then program files x86, then Battle.net, and there's our Battle.net launcher right there. So we're going to open that, and that's going to add the link to our desktop or our Steam program. And once we have this link on our Steam program, again, we're going to go into the settings of the link. We're going to go to properties, and then we are going to go to the compatibility layer, force, make sure you check force compatibility, and then choose the Proton layer that you want to choose. I'm going to choose the 24 because it's the newest version. And then we're going to close that, and then we're going to hit play. Now, once you do this, you will have the ability to, pop up your Battle.net launcher. After you open this up, we got to go through the process of installing Diablo II Resurrected. So obviously, Diablo II Resurrected is not going to be able to, work unless you install it. So you're going to go through the process of installing Diablo II Resurrected on your computer. And we don't need to find the Diablo II Resurrected file like we did the other files. And just for demonstration purposes, let me install Overwatch. I've been meaning to install this one anyway. So obviously we click on install, enable auto update, crash desktop shortcut, and we hit start install. And it's going to download it just the way it does on a Windows PC, which is not bad at all. From this point, there isn't much more to do. You're just going to launch the game. So let's go ahead and open up Diablo II Resurrected. Always love the starting logo, especially this one. I feel like the Blizzard North logo was always the coolest. All right, so once you hop in here, it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's, the standard Diablo II Resurrected system. I have noticed that the load times are a little bit longer. All right, so let's go into the options, and let's take a look and see what kind of options we have for this. First off, let's turn down the sound a little bit because the music and the and stuff is always a little too loud in my opinion, just a little bit. Let's go down to 80. All right. So let's take a look and see what kind of video options we have. So we're currently set to 1920 by 1080. We don't have any option to change that. We have no frame rate cap, which I would like to actually adjust. I'm going to put the frame rate cap. Actually, you know what? For right now, let's put it at 0 because I want to see what the frame rate cap is. But then we'll go forward and we'll take a look differently. So it's automatically set to low graphic presets, texture quality high, aniscopic filtering 1, ambient occlusion low, character detail low, environmental detail low, transparency quality high, shadow quality low, anti-aliasing, dynamic resolution scaling. Set the minimum frame rate allowed before dynamic resolution scaling activates. Okay. All right. I mean, the settings are a little low. They definitely are a little low. I'm not gonna lie. But let's take a look and see what kind of frame rate we get, shall we? So I'm gonna bring one of my characters into a game here. Let's bring my Tankazon. Skip that. It's the first time I've opened the game, of course, so it's going to be a little tutorial-y. It's like, hey, do you know how to do this? Are you sure you know how to do this? Because you just installed the game and we're not sure if you know how to do that yet. We're not sure. Ooh, I can bring myself back up on the camera now that we have not in the Steam thing anymore. Sorry for the stuff on the screen. I've had to readjust my studio a little bit to actually get this to work. So I hope you will forgive the oddity in my stream setup. All right, so let's take our girl out and let's see how we can do. Also, I want to type in the /FPS command so we can take a look and see what kind of FPS we're running. I am interested to see whether or not we have a decent FPS on this system. All right, there we go. We've got our FPS command up. So we're currently running at 46 frames. Let's get into some nitty-gritty here. It looks like we're working pretty good. Got a random small charm. This is with the keyboard and mouse, by the way, so I am actually playing with the keyboard and mouse. I have a keyboard set up on my basically my left-hand side of my desk system here, and of course this is through the dock. If I was playing in handheld mode, this would be a different story because the handheld mode, obviously, you know, I don't really know how you're going to play handheld mode with a keyboard and mouse, but you could. I mean, if you got some sort of little stand or something to put the Steam Deck on, you know, and you just kind of like hooked up a USB-C to USB, and then you did like a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. That could also work, a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. There's a lot of different options. And speaking of Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, if I'm going to play this on the TV, I can do it one of two ways. Obviously, I can do it with the setup like I have right now, or I could connect a controller. I actually do have a controller that I plan on using. This is my 8BitDo SN30 Pro Plus. It's a very, very excellent controller. I actually really, really like this thing. Not only does it have a rechargeable battery pack, but the battery pack is deliberately sized so that you can take it out if it dies and put in double A's. It's pretty darn cool. I think I've gone over everything that we need to go over, though, for getting your Diablo II Resurrected running on your Steam Deck. The only thing that I did not cover, which I feel like I do need to talk about specifically, is the installing on an SD card. So if you were going to install this on an SD card as opposed to on your internal memory, like maybe you got the lower Steam Deck edition, which doesn't have an internal hard drive, I think it's only like 32 gigabytes of space or something like that, and you don't want to waste your internal space, then obviously you're going to have to change the install path. So, so changing where the installation occurs is something that you would have to figure out. I think there's a guide on the internet already on how to install on an SD card, and I'm sorry because I don't have an SD card in mine right now. I actually need to purchase one. I'll probably purchase an SD card later. I got plenty of space though, but it's nice to have something that you can swap back and forth between, you know, your computer and obviously the Steam Deck at any time, so you can copy over files or, you know, install emulators or whatever it is that you want to do on your Steam Deck, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably have installed emulators on their Steam Deck. I can't imagine them not. Another thing that you can do, I don't know if you guys have actually seen this before, is you can actually add custom artwork for your Battle.net launcher. So if you wanted to actually download a custom background for your Battle.net launcher, you could do that. I imagine that you could probably just go to Firefox and download something. So let's take a look here. Let's just go to Firefox. Let's type in Blizzard. Let's see, Blizzard logo. Let's do that. Blizzard logo. And then that looks good. That looks like a good one. Why not? We'll use this one. Or you know what? I actually like Blizzard North. Let's use the Blizzard North logo instead. Just because I actually like Blizzard North a lot better than I like Blizzard. Really? That's a little small. That's a little bit better. I like this one. All right. So I'm going to save this image. And Blizzard North, we're going to put it in the downloads. So save. And then once we've got that downloaded, we're going to set custom background, and then we're going to go to the downloads folder, which we found out was in the home deck downloads Blizzard North. And there we go. We've got a really terrible Blizzard North logo. Maybe I should have gotten the smaller one. It seems a little squashed. It seems a little squashed. Let's download the other one, shall we? There was one that was smaller that might fit a little bit better. So Blizzard North logo. All right, let's grab this one. This one's smaller. It might fit better in the list. Got to refresh this. So let's go up one and then back down, and there it is. There you go. That fits a little bit better. And basically what that does is it allows you to actually see it in the launcher a little bit easier. Makes it more obvious what it actually is. So like if I go back to the uncategorized list and I'm flipping through here, you'll notice that they don't actually have icons. So you have to include an icon as well. You could also do that. So I could also go, right click, custom logo. I don't know. Let's just see what happens if we choose the same thing for the logo as well. And then we'll go back to uncategorized. And still doesn't really have anything there. We have to refresh maybe. Let's go with games I beat and then click back. Nah, doesn't really work there. Maybe our logo is too big. It's probably too big to display because we didn't choose one that's actually a logo. And of course, you can also add to collections and stuff like that. I haven't seen any way to get this work not in desktop mode, just to clarify. So, for instance, not really sure why that popped up. For instance, if I go back to desktop or the gaming mode, so outside of the desktop mode, we can take ourselves back. And this puts us into what's more of like the big picture mode, Steam Big Picture mode. If you've never used Steam Big Picture mode, I mean, it's a pretty self-explanatory thing. It's like trying to turn Steam into what is essentially a like a console. That's pretty much what it does. Is it turns Steam into like kind of like a console kind of experience, where it gives you the the like layout like of an Xbox or a PlayStation or something like that. And as you can see now, the Battle.net setup is in the list now, and I actually would like to take the setup out of the list because we no longer need that. So manage, remove. I also tried to add D2R directly, but unfortunately you cannot do that. So what happens is Diablo II Resurrected will launch, but because the launcher is not activated, what happens is you end up with a you end up with a game that's not connected to Battle.net, and it basically says, "Hey, you're not connected to Battle.net. You need to be," and you can't because, of course, you're stuck. All right, so let's see if we can open it up from here. I haven't been able to get this to work, but I also didn't have Proton 24 installed the last time I checked this. So let's see how it works from the launcher now, or the game mode. I'm very interested to see how this works. All right, so we did, in fact, have it capable of doing what we were looking. So, so let's go ahead and hit the play button. Let's see if it pops up. All right, so it looks like the addition of Proton 24 has made it possible to launch this from the games library. Absolutely excellent. I know you can't see, but I am stroking my beard intensely right now because this is all very fun to me. I love gadgets like this. I've always loved gadgets. Right now, I currently have this Steam Deck hooked up to a Dock Tech dock with the power running into the dock. I have a keyboard and mouse running into the dock as well as the HDMI running out. And I even have a wired Ethernet cable hooked up to this bad boy so that I have a better, connection. I may actually do some streams like this. I think it would be really fun just to do some streams like this and play around in this mode. I'm also interested to see if I can adjust this a little bit. Like, let's do resolution scale down a little bit. Let's take it down to 90. It's actually not bad. Ooh, I'm noticing a difference right off the bat. So when I was in desktop mode, the resolution was 1920 by 1080, and notice now that I'm in the games library mode, it's 1280 by 800, which is what, 800p? I think it's 800p. So our resolution has definitely gone down from the desktop mode. So it looks like if we want to play in the 1920 by 1080, we need to go to the desktop mode to achieve that. Let's hop in real quick, though, and take a look and see what kind of frame rate we're looking at now with the with this 1280 by 768. It could be interesting to see if there's a difference between the two. We'll also type in the FPS command. We can get our frame rate. So we're looking at 60, no, 45 to 60, 45 to 60-ish, give or take. Starting to look more like the Nintendo Switch now with the lower graphics settings, so more like 720p. I do believe that's 800p, if I remember correctly. It's been a little while since I've used an 800p monitor. As you can see, there's clearly some issues with the size of the screen because it's a different ratio. In fact, let me just double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure the ratio that I'm currently looking at is not 16 by 9. 1280 by 800 ratio. Let's type it on the wrong keyboard. 800 ratio 1610. So this is a 1610 ratio. That's why there's a black border on the left and the right of the monitor. That makes a lot of sense. All in all, though, I'm actually quite surprised at how well this runs on this this mobile device. It looks better than the Nintendo Switch at the very least, which also runs, obviously, Diablo II Resurrected in the mobile form. And this video has been going on for 27 minutes, and I do feel like we've already covered everything. So without further ado, I bid you farewell. This has been a very fun day for me playing around with this Steam Deck. And if you guys have any questions about the Steam Deck, I'll try and answer them. I'm going to be researching the Steam Deck in detail, you know, trying to figure out all the cool things that I can do with it. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.